Hi there, welcome to this video when I'm back at RSPB Burton Mere. Hi there, thanks for joining me in this video. It's great to see you again. Yes, I am back at Burton Mere and I have visited here quite a few times before if you've seen many of my videos. But I think it is great to revisit the same place on more than one occasion because you get familiar with where to go, and it's also good to see it in different seasons. And I did get a comment as well a few days ago from somebody that said they'd seen quite a lot of different species here, so it was definitely be worth paying a visit today. So come along with me because I know that I'm really going to enjoy my photography. Not the most encouraging starts. I've just been into the visitor centre to just show my membership card, and one of the volunteers has said that there's not a lot about just at the moment on the reserve. I think they've had a sparrowhawk visit in the last day or two, which may have scared off some of the species of birds, but I can still hear quite a lot, and there's 3 or 4 birds that I've seen flitting about in the trees, so there's still things to photograph. So I'm not all that pessimistic just at the moment. I've just spent about 15 minutes in this hide, which was really enjoyable because it's right next to the visitor centre, and sometimes you see virtually nothing from here, but today I've seen quite a lot. I've seen a shoveler and a pheasant fairly close to the hide, but the highlights have really been some Godwit that were a little bit further away, but I've still got some video and photographs of them, and then some teal that were flying around, and some landed quite close to the hide as well. So that's been really good. I think it's time now to move a little bit deeper into the reserve. It's always good to look out for feeders like this one just here, because that's where you can guarantee to see lots of birds. And so I've been stood here for about 5 or 10 minutes, and in that time I've seen a nuthatch, a coal tit, robin, blue tit, great tit, and a Dunnock as well. And so I've seen lots of species, and what you really want to try and do is photograph them when they're on the branches surrounding the feeders, because if they're on the feeders themselves they don't look really natural, but you can quite often get really good close-up photographs of birds really easily when they're next to feeders. If you'd like to become a friend of the channel, you can do that for free by simply clicking the subscribe button, and you can also click the like for this video and the bell notifications to make sure that you stay up to date with all of my future content. Also, it really does help out the channel. And don't forget that I've got a Teespring store available where there's lots of merchandise. The last time that was here, as I walked along this path, there was an Egyptian goose sat on the top of this railing. No such luck this time, but behind me on this stretch of water there are quite a lot of shoveler, and in a tree just on the other side of the water there is a cormorant, and it's been caught by the early morning sun and lit up really nicely, so that made for a lovely photograph. Well, I've sat in this hide for about 10 minutes, and even though I've not really seen anything interesting, I've seen a magpie and a gull flew over, and that's about it really. It's been really nice just sitting quietly by this open window because the sun's been coming in and out from behind a cloud, and I've just been watching birds in the distance flying about, and it's been really relaxing. A great way of just taking your mind off any troubles that you're having in the world and just calming down and just enjoying being out in nature. And really, that's all that matters. It's a big part of photography for me. Yes, I enjoy getting photographs as well, but just the experience of being out and seeing all of this lovely nature really makes the whole morning really worthwhile. Hopefully you can see it, but just here on this branch is a really tame robin, and I've had to zoom out to 180mm because it is so close to me. The camera wouldn't focus because it's so close. Now, I did get some seed out and try and tempt it down onto my hand, but it wouldn't come. Unfortunately, it's not quite that tame. But all the time I've been talking to the camera, it's still sat on that branch just behind me, so it's not bothered by my presence at all. I've just come across another very friendly robin that was sat in a branch, and it looked completely unbothered again by my presence, and then it flew even closer to where I was on the path, and so I thought I'd try again with some seed. And the technique, if you want to attract robins, especially in a place like this where they're used to people, you stand a fairly good chance, is to just put some seed on your hand and then stay very still. And the robin came ever closer, and I got my phone out of my pocket while it was just sat watching, and I took some video when it came and it ate from my hand, and it was a magical moment, so I'll share that with you now. Well, I've just had a really interesting experience here in this hide behind me. At first I thought there wasn't going to be much out to be seen. There was just a lone little egret wading about in the water finding food, but then a flock of lapwing came in and landed on the pond, and then we got another flock of teal that came and landed and scared the lapwing off. And then to finish it off, we did get about 1,000 geese fly over. It was really noisy, you could hear them coming from quite a long distance away. So I don't think the video will do them justice really, because I couldn't zoom out far enough to get them all in one single frame. But that's been really interesting sitting in that hide. been a good end to the morning. I've spent a little bit of time at this blind here behind me, and I've got my first ever sighting of a greenshank. Now that was confirmed by several of the bird watchers here, so hopefully it is an accurate identification, but I'll have to double check when I get home, and I might even have some reasonable photographs, but the bird was a long distance away. So what I'll do now is I'll leave you with some of my best photographs from the morning. Don't forget to stay around to the end of the video to see my favourite. As always, it's been a great morning here at Burton Mere. I've seen lots of birds in lots of different locations. It's difficult to pick my favourite, but the highlights certainly are going to be that very friendly robin and all those flocks of lapwing and teal and geese that I saw, but it's really hard to pick. So hopefully when I get home I'll put them into the computer and I'll be able to pick one, and I'll show you my favourite now.
This is a slightly different photograph to choose as my favourite, and as you can see it's not a bird, but I did film this video the day before Remembrance Sunday, so I thought this image of the poppy was quite touching at this time of year. Now I saw this lone poppy outside the first hide that I visited, and I gave it a little bit of a mystical treatment with a white vignette as well, ever so slightly to just make it seem a little bit more atmospheric, but I really do like the way this turned out. And what I'll do at the end is I'll link one of my remembrance videos that I filmed at the National Arboretum, so you can go and check that out.
If you have enjoyed that video, I'll link another one just up here that you might enjoy. Don't forget you can become a friend of the channel by clicking the like, subscribe and the bell notifications. If you want to leave me any comments, do that down below, or visit my Instagram Vero or Facebook account. But all that's left now is to say stay safe, and I'll see you soon.